Good afternoon, traders. My name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a chief analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and welcome to the daily analytical report. This is non-farm payrolls Friday, so we should expect a higher volatility, but also at the same time the volatility before the data release is very low. I do have some interesting trading setups for you, obviously. But you always have to keep in mind that in an hour and a half everything can change. Right? Data will be published in an hour and a half. If there will be a huge miss from the anticipated number, we can expect a high volatility. Not so big as usual, I think, because the consensus about the interest rates is more or less clear. We are expecting about 3 interest rates rises in this year, and I don't think that today's number will be very influential. More or less, we're expecting 175,000. 175, yes, exactly. The range between economies is between 140,000 to 238,000. I think we had a small problem, but now we are back. Okay. So the range between economies is between 140 and 238. But many traders are expecting a much better number right now than the consensus which was set before. Why is that? Because we had an excellent ADP which came on Wednesday. It came much better than expected, 246,000. Also, we had the employment component of the ISM manufacturing going up 3.3 points to 56.1. So some of the experts, traders, they are hoping for a much better number which should support American dollar. Actually, those movements that we are seeing now on the market before the non-farm payrolls is stronger American dollar, is gold and silver going down. In my opinion, those movements, as I will show you in a second, are very technical, and it's just a result of the technical analysis that we saw a few days ago. So it's not much of an expectation that this non-farm payrolls will be higher, but most probably it comes together. From the fundamental point of view, also we do have oil which is going up due to the, well, today it's more of a side trend, but we are still on high levels seen yesterday. And in my opinion, well, those movements are caused by worries about introducing sanctions to Iran for their missile tests, and also from the comments from Russian Energy Ministry, who said that most of the countries, if not all, committed to that OPEC agreement, and they cut the output, which helped to leave the price higher. Right, so we do have those two things coming together. Also from the fundamental side, overnight, China surprised the markets by a more hawkish approach. They tightened their monetary policy and increased rates of reverse repo 10 basis points. From the fundamental point of view, let me also show you the data from today. We had retail sales from Eurozone, which came worse than expected, and it also supports the downswing on euro dollar. This data was much worse than expected. As you can see, here was labeled as not very significant, because in a non-farm day that kind of data is usually non-significant, but retail sales tends to be good influential data usually. Also, we had PMIs, market services PMIs from UK, which also came worse than expected, and well, pound is going down because American dollar is stronger and the data was weaker. Our 25 minutes non-farm payrolls, and that what it counts today. If we are on a Friday, let me introduce you to the data for the next week, that we will be prepared what's going to happen. On Monday, not much is going to happen. On Tuesday, we do have a rate statement from Reserve Bank of Australia. So if you're planning of any long-term position on Australian dollar, you should be extra careful, because on Tuesday we should expect a higher volatility on this instrument. On Wednesday, pack of data from China. Every year, every month, that data from China gains importance, and a few years ago not many people were looking at the data from China, but now PMIs from China or trade balance from China, they are more and more important every month, and traders tend to look at that direction. Also on Wednesday we have another central bank from that part of the world, so Reserve Bank of New Zealand, and their interest rate decision, press conference, policy statement, etc. All that package which is happens during the rate decision. Also Reserve Bank of New Zealand Governor Mr. Wheeler will have a speech day, well, the same day, actually it's gonna be the same day in New Zealand. Unemployment rate from Switzerland here is labeled as an influential data, but it's not so much in my opinion. Usually data from Switzerland, yes, is important, but they don't cause good movements on the market. And on a Friday we'll have data from Canadian job market. So the next week won't be so busy as this week was, for example, but still traders will have some information worth to look at. Also, we have to remember that Donald Trump presidency is quite eventful. Since he started to be president, so we can expect some political action, in my opinion, from his side, and his politics, the way how he's doing it, influence the markets as well. You shouldn't be mad if it influence the markets. You should be happy because it gives you trading opportunities. The thing is that he's kind of unpredictable, or maybe he is predictable. Well, it depends from which side you're looking at, because once he became a president, he's now doing most of the things that he said he will do, right? So it shouldn't be a surprise that he's fulfilling promises done during the campaign. So for you, it can be a decent trading opportunity, right? If you know how to follow that. But we're gonna leave politics on the side and do some trading. Let's check the charts. What do we have here is euro dollar. In the long term, look at that. Yesterday we were in this channel up formation and we went to the horizontal resistance here on 1.0830. Is this resistance important? Well, yes it is. It was a support in March, it was a support in October, it was a resistance in December. And the price went there, created a shooting star candlestick. Maybe let me show that better, because it's a very important thing. Shooting star itself is not a sell signal, right? But shooting star on a resistance, when this resistance is tested for the second time, in my opinion, this is a sell signal. So actually, I'm having this position on our live trading account for you not to be surprised, because for me it's a legitimate trading signal. So we have a downtrend, lower highs and lower lows. We do have a shooting star bouncing from a horizontal resistance, and price should follow. Most probably there is also double top formation, but I'm not looking at that very much. Look at that. Here is this resistance. It was broken, and now the price is aiming for the lower line of this channel up formation. It depends which supports will we use. If you will use those, we still have some space for that. If we will use that one and those, now we're aiming for a breakout. But okay, fair enough, let's use those. So still we can expect like a 40 pips downswing. This situation on euro dollar, I would be very confident about it, right? I would be totally confident about the sell signal here. Obviously, when trading, you cannot be confident about too many things. But if not, I would trade that if there were no non-farm payrolls. But well, I'm trading that, but I would be more confident if there were no non-farm payrolls. Now we do have those non-farm payrolls, so everything actually can happen. But what can we do? That's the trading. When you see this nice trading opportunity, you have to act. I have a stop loss order, so I'm not worried. Even it's again, this non-farm payroll is not so crucial. It's not the data that everybody is looking for as the non-farm payrolls for the last few months, right? So we're not expecting 150 pips movement, but still it should increase the volatility. Okay, next instrument is silver, and silver is trading beautifully. Why is that? Inverted head and shoulder formation, breakout of a horizontal resistance here. After the breakout, now we do have a correction. Correction is aiming the neckline. Why we do have a correction? Because price after the breakout touched the trend line, and they reversed exactly on the trend line, creating a dodgy candlestick. So now they test this support. There can be even double bottom formation here. Obviously it will be also influenced by non-farm payrolls. If the non-farm payrolls will be higher, we maybe see a downswing here. If there will be worse than expected, we will see a bounce. And that's what should happen with the silver. For now, sentiment is positive. Everything is going according to the plan, and plan in terms of the inverted head and shoulder formation is a breakout of a neckline, upswing, technical correction aiming the neckline as a closest support, and a bounce. So far we are in this aiming part. The price tests the neckline as a closest support, and from the technical point of view we should expect a bounce here. Next instrument I have for you is American dollar to Canadian dollar, also unfortunately influenced by the non-farm payrolls. Why unfortunately? Because here I'm seeing a good sell opportunity, but not now. But once we would have a breakout here, because now we are still above the support. Also, we are above the support, and yesterday the price created a hammer candlestick. Also, it can be considered as a double bottom formation, as you can see here. So I'm not telling to go short right now, because we can still defend this support. Obviously, signal will be most probably created today. Signal will be most probably created in hour and 15 minutes. When the signal will be created, once we will be able to break above this, actually this trend line is not so important as this horizontal resistance. When the price will break this level, a buy signal will be created. It will happen somewhere here. If it will happen, it will happen somewhere here, or after making new lows, sell signal will be created. To both, we are exactly in the middle of that. Both areas have around 70 pips. And what traders should do? Well, maybe you can. What you can do is maybe wait for the breakout and decide, or maybe you want to place pending orders, buy stop, sell stop around those levels. It depends from your strategy. I'm just telling you what's the sentiment on this instrument, and where are significant supports and resistances, which if we will have a breakout, the movements most probably will accelerate, creating a good trading opportunity. On gold, we had this correction equality, right? So this correction was the same as this one, then a retracement, then a comeback, and now this is potentially a very dangerous thing on gold, because this is a bearish, this is a false breakout. As you know, false breakouts usually leads to the movement in the opposite direction, and I would say that if the price will get here, sell signal will be back on the table. So far it's more or less positive, or well, actually neutral, because this false breakout wipes out the buy signal on gold. Sell signal is not there yet, so for me now the sentiment is more or less neutral. As long as we stay above this trend line, we cannot think about short position. As long as we stay below 38.2 Fibonacci level, we cannot think about long positions. So the trend follower situation on gold for me is not tradable at the moment. Australian dollar to American dollar, the price made those 7 corrections in a row, and I'm looking for the next one. Maybe it will happen today. Okay, this is also 70 pips. I'm afraid that this correction, if it will happen, can be a little bit deeper, so can have 90 pips, or even here 100 pips, if the dollar will get stronger. But obviously we will see, we will watch market carefully. Euro to Canadian dollar, still waiting for a proper signal. There was sell signal here, correction. Sell signal is not back there yet. On this instrument I'm in a waiting mode. Kiwi is struggling with the horizontal resistance, or horizontal resistance from here, as you can see. Also, we should get a trading signal just today, an hour and 10 minutes. This is the support to look at, or even incline here, and resistance is somewhere here. If we will have a breakout, that will be a head and shoulder formation and an invitation for the price to go lower. American dollar to Swiss franc is coming back above the horizontal support, so this creates a double bottom formation. Sell signal is off, and buy signal will be created once the price will manage to come above the trend line, because that would mean that this was just a false breakout, and also we will have a trend correction pattern, which will be a double bottom formation, right? But buy signal is not there yet. Again, buy signal will be created here. Sell signal will be created here. So as you can see on many pairs with American dollar, also silver and gold, non-farm payrolls will help to answer questions about the future. About the future of many instruments. Trading is done very technical, but we stopped on important supports, resistances, and now the price is trying to figure out if they're gonna break it, or they will bounce from a support, or break or a bounce. And non-farm payrolls, which will be shown in hour and 10 minutes, should trigger many trading signals, even if they are not so relevant in terms of the future policy of Fed. Those non-farm payrolls will be relevant from the technical point of view, because they will be able to create hopefully long-lasting trading signals. Next instrument, euro to Australian dollar. They failed to create this inverted head and shoulder formation. They are having another breakout here, so the sentiment here is negative. It is negative. But remember, Australian dollar, Reserve Bank of Australia, interest rate decision coming next week. Coming next, dollar to Japanese yen, where we are still protecting this horizontal support created by 38.2. 38.2 for the win. Again, breaking this level will be a sell signal. So far we don't have it, so we don't have a sell signal. To buy signal, I think the way is long buy signal will be created once the price will be able to break this horizontal resistance here. Euro to Swiss franc, I think traders will call it a false breakout, and with this kind of movement we should see an upswing here, right, in my opinion. Also, let me put trend line here, maybe change the color as well, right? So movement at least to here is, in my opinion, very probable. Euro to British pound, still locked in a side trend. Here you need the patience to watch this instrument. American dollar to Mexican peso, fighting on 38.2 Fibonacci level. This triple bottom on an important support didn't work out, so it's currently not the best instrument for me to look at, as they are not obeying technical analysis. But anyway, it's not their job to do that. It's a trader's job to find instruments which obey technical analysis, if they use technical analysis. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen, waiting for a breakout in a wedge formation just below an important horizontal resistance, so waiting for a breakout. American dollar to Polish zloty, my local currency, a strong decline, but we're coming back above a horizontal support, above psychological barriers, or on 4 zlotys for $1. Also, if you can see here, it's not a coincidence that we bounced here, because that was a resistance at the second half of the October. So that's the first stop here, and we're again above 4 zlotys for $1. This is a psychological barrier. But generally, as you can see, those two impulses were the same, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got another third movement like this in a row. British pound to Canadian dollar, trying to defend 38.2 Fibonacci level again. I think the struggle is really here, but they are doing their best. British pound to American dollar. I don't like this kind of trading. Not much of a technical analysis, but as long as we stay above the yellow line, the sentiment is positive. I can see that the price found also this kind of a support, fair enough. We will see what will be, maybe the color difference is not significant, so let me change, for example, on green. So yep, that would be it. Last currency I have for you is Euro to Norwegian krone, where yesterday we created this hammer. Generally, I think it would be a nice trigger for an upswing, for a correction, but as you can see, the price is not following this movement due to the fact that euro is much weaker today due to the worse data. Also, oil is quite high, so oil supports the Norwegian krone, which is a commodity currency, and will be supported by the higher price of the oil. So that is why we do have a decline here. But generally, I think that such a strong decline, it needs to be it needs to be corrected, and this kind of movement, this one or this one, should happen soon. Okay, at the end, quick switch for the other account, where I want to show you DAX, which is going sideways, still above the trend line. Went for the support. The support is not longer relevant, as I think, because it's not causing any bounces or breakouts. But the traders on indexes are awaiting for the non-farm payrolls, and on oil, as you can see, we do have a also sideways trend. But price, after the breaking this upper line of the pennant, price is kept relatively high, which is a positive. This is a technically positive sign for this commodity. And I'm telling you that as a bear on oil. I think that the price of oil should decline. But in the same time, I believe in the technical analysis. I try to be an objective as much as possible, not biased by any situation, even my long-term outlook. And from the technical point of view, it really looks promising. We got a breakout. We didn't get a significant denial, significant retracement of this. The price is still high. and they're putting pressure on those high levels. So this generally is a positive. It creates a positive environment around the gold. Let me show you forex instruments again just before we finish. So a sell signal on euro dollar, in my opinion. Still buy signal on silver. Here is two pending orders waiting for a breakout. Here it's a neutral trend. Here the sentiment is positive. Here mixed. Here two pending orders, negative sentiment, two pending orders, positive sentiment, waiting, negative sentiment but no position, no hard signal, no hard signal, no signal, but if I would have to do something, that would be a long position. On cable, kind of a long position, short position in the long term. And that would be it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Remember that trading and investment in financial markets involves an element of risk. This is our last daily analytical report this week. I hope you got some decent trading ideas, but if you follow our ideas, you should be right. You should be just right, because I see what I'm doing, and I'm explaining you how it works, and it usually works like that. So try to follow us as much as possible. Also, if you want more ideas, our Twitter account, well, not more, because I'm giving plenty of examples on daily analytical report, but if you want ideas on your mobile or computer as fast as they emerge, now you should follow us on Twitter. And our website alpari.news, where we post our articles on various portals like FX Street, FX Empire and investing.com. And now a short break, and we will have a webinar about MetaTrader 4, about usage of this platform. Thanks very much, and goodbye, and see you next week.